If you still haven't watched BLUEY, seriously, what are you doing with your life? Go watch it, because you are not ready for what these characters might be like when they grow up. We already know BLUEY so well as a child that imagining her adult life is almost like thinking about the future of someone in our own family. And the series has already given us a hint in an episode where we see her all grown up. BLUEY looks happy, healthy, and she even has a new haircut. And we see her with her little daughter. The little one's name hasn't been officially revealed yet, but many people affectionately call her Roxy because of her purple fur. And this little pup is everything we imagine a daughter of BLUEY would be: cheerful, mischievous, and full of imagination. She loves to play, get into trouble with Grandpa Bandit, and seems to have inherited the same playful personality as her mom. But we still don't know who Roxy's father is, nor what BLUEY's job is, and that's where the theories come in. From what it seems, BLUEY must be around 30 years old, which means she's probably had time to find her place in life. After all, she already has a daughter. And a past episode gives us a clue about the kind of career she might have chosen. She has always liked moving around and playing, and a great example of that is in the episode Bin Night, when she starts doing karate and quickly shows natural talent. In no time, she's already earning a new belt, full of pride. This shows that she doesn't just like martial arts, but that she's also good at it. And when you combine talent with passion, it's not hard to imagine the path ahead. Maybe BLUEY dreams of becoming a real martial artist, competing in tournaments, teaching other people, and living a life full of movement and purpose. Can you imagine that version of BLUEY? So grab your popcorn and your cold soda and subscribe to the channel, because another BLUEY Bingoverse has just begun. Since we talked about BLUEY's daughter, we can't ignore one of the questions fans ask the most. After all, who is Roxy's father? The most likely theory is that it's Mackenzie, and that's no coincidence. Since they were little, BLUEY and Mackenzie have had a deep friendship full of complicity. They play together, think together, face challenges, and learn from each other. In the episode Barky Boats, Calypso talks about childhood friends who drift apart and, when they meet again, realize that something has changed. The truth is that this episode feels like it was designed especially for the two of them. And if we know that many loves begin with a strong friendship, it makes perfect sense to imagine BLUEY and Mackenzie becoming a couple as adults. In the future, it's easy to picture the two of them living together, raising little Roxy, and balancing their personalities with lots of affection. And of course, Mackenzie would also build his own path, and everything points to him possibly following a career as a police officer. It's not just because he's a border collie. Mackenzie himself shows traits that fit well with that profession. In the episode Space, he shares the trauma of his fear of abandonment after getting lost from his parents. That experience could spark a desire to help children who go through similar situations. Working in a branch of the police focused on finding missing people would be a direct way to turn his pain into care. And Mackenzie has everything it takes to be an empathetic police officer, the kind who truly wants to make a difference. And with BLUEY by his side and Roxy growing up in the middle of this story, their future seems just as full of meaning as any game they ever played in childhood. Speaking of the future, we can't forget about Bingo, BLUEY's little sister, who has her own path full of discoveries and adventures. Inspired by her dad, who is an archaeologist and lives exploring the past through fossils and ancient artifacts, adult Bingo seems to be following that same passion. After all, we've already seen that Bandit sometimes disappears for weeks, setting off on expeditions to distant places, like in the episode Curry Quest. In the episode Surprise, there's a scene that gives a valuable clue. A picture on the wall shows Bingo on Easter Island, right in front of the famous giant statues, a perfect setting for a real archaeologist. This fits perfectly with her curious and adventurous spirit, since she's always eager to discover new things. But she won't be completely focused only on work. Bingo will have a life full of affection alongside Dougie, the deaf boy who appeared in the episode Turtle Boy. They will form a very close couple, and they will have a child together. Dougie, in turn, will follow a path that also makes a lot of sense. He will become a teacher specialized in helping children with hearing difficulties. And you know what's coolest? The entire Healer family will learn sign language to communicate with him, showing how love and respect are a fundamental part of this story. Would you like to see that? Then tell us in the comments with the hashtag DOUGIE. Snickers will follow a different path, but one that is also full of personality. We bet he will become a reporter, and the biggest clue is in the episode K9 News, where he disguises himself as a journalist for Calypso's school newspaper. With that outgoing and charismatic way of his, it won't be hard for him to win over the cameras and the people. But don't think Snickers will stay single. His heart already belongs to someone. Coco, his childhood friend. They grew up together, so this romance is the kind that starts as a game and turns into love. Coco, with that star-like vibe that only a poodle can have, will launch herself as an actress, shining on screens and winning over fans. Ah, this couple. Involved with journalism and art, living under the spotlight, and with lots of love in everyday life. And of course, they will have several puppies, a cute and fun mix of poodles and sausages. Now let's talk about Muffin, that cousin who brings a very special kind of energy to the Healer family. And it's not always easy for her parents, Stripe and Trixie. As a little kid, Muffin is basically a walking storm, full of energy and with a very short fuse. But over time, she will learn to control all that intensity better, even if her strong personality never completely disappears. While Bluey and Bingo start thinking about more serious relationships already in their teenage years, Muffin will live life in a different way. She will be more of the on and off type, changing boyfriends often, with no rush to settle down. And the same goes for her jobs. Muffin will go through several part-time jobs because many times her strong personality will end up causing some conflict. Sometimes she really does get irritated easily, but other times it's just because she doesn't accept injustice. Remember the episode Granny Mobile? In it, Muffin shows that she knows how to stand up for herself and defend others, even if that causes a big mess. In the end, she will grow, learn, and continue being a healer full of grit. As for Muffin's younger sister, Socks, we see a very different personality starting to emerge. Socks has always been quieter and more reserved, much less agitated than Muffin. After she learned to walk on two legs, she seems to have become even calmer, which makes us imagine a future where she works in a peaceful place, like a library. What makes Socks even more special is that at the beginning, she behaved almost like a real puppy, which made many people think that her mind works in a neurodivergent way. This means that she perceives and feels the world in a unique way. As she grows up, Socks will probably understand this better and seek proper help to feel even more comfortable with herself. So maybe she will take a little longer to get involved in romantic relationships, but that doesn't mean she won't love. In fact, many people are rooting for her to have a cute romance with Jack Russell, an old classmate of Bluey who probably has ADHD. Together, they could help each other and understand each other in a special way, building a friendship and a love full of affection. And you already know, right? To stay on top of all this Bluey gossip, just follow the channel and turn on the notification bell. And speaking of Jack Russell, whom Socks might end up dating, his future is also full of surprises. As a child, Jack loved playing soldier with Rusty, and that's why, even though he's a sweetheart, he will grow up and become a military man, and end up a little more serious and grumpier than we're used to seeing. But even behind this new posture, it's clear that his sweetness will remain. As for Rusty, who has always been passionate about cricket, he really will stand out in the sport. There's even an episode that shows him doing extremely well, like a professional cricket player. His future will obviously be alongside Indy, that friend who loves to sing and dance. We imagine that she will pursue an artistic career, shining on stage just like Coco. The series gives hints of this in the episode where they play being mom and dad, a cute sign that they will become a real couple and will even have a child together. And all of this is something we are very excited to follow up close.